So the first time that we hear about fault energy in this series is whenever Kaiju number 9 is going on his long monologue to number 8 and asks, can you turn humans into Kaiju if you expose them to fault energy? What if I told you that we may already have examples of what happens when humans are exposed to fault energy? I think that people like Gen Narumi, Reno Ichikawa, Isao Shinomiya, and Mina Ashiro are all examples of what happens when you do expose humans to fault energy. My theory is that when humans are exposed to certain levels of fault energy, it increases your aptitude for kaiju cells and may even possibly mutate some of your human cells into kaiju cells, similar to radiation, and we'll talk about that in this video. So let's get into it. Now, based on chapter 107, it's safe to say that even Kaiju number 9 knows that it takes a certain amount of fault energy in order to create Kaiju. And with this in mind, it's also clear to me how to make a stronger Kaiju. To make a stronger Kaiju, you would just increase its exposure to fault energy, right? And this is probably how daikaiju are made. So to make a long story short, I think that when daikaiju attack civilizations, they also naturally release fault energy at the same time. Think of fault energy like radiation. This fault energy is literally just leaking off these kaiju bodies as they move around and attack things. Even something like an energy blast may leave behind fault energy residue. People that are near these kaiju calamities have the possibility of being exposed to this fault energy as it's coming off of these kaiju bodies or from the kaiju attacks. And this fault energy could possibly mutate human cells into kaiju cells or increase someone's aptitude to use those kaiju cells. But what even is fault energy, right? We haven't really gotten an actual explanation in the series yet, but I believe that it's a power created by the Earth with tectonic shifting. This power is probably, like I said, very similar to radiation and can mutate cells. And there are a handful of officers who are just a cut above the rest in this series. And that is because their cells are much more compatible with kaiju cells compared to all other officers. So these characters can use special equipment, special weapons. Kafka was literally chosen by Kaiju number 8. Reno is the only person in Defense Force history that has been compatible with the Kaiju number 6 suit. Isao is the only person in Defense Force history that was compatible with the Kaiju number 2 suit. And Mina is the only soldier ever deemed like a super artillery assault specialist or whatever it is. And then more recently, today especially, Gen Narumi may have already developed the Kaiju number 1 eyes before joining the Defense Force. And do you know what all of these characters have in common other than they are the top dogs? The thing that they all have in common is the fact that all of their backstories involve facing some sort of huge calamity from a kaiju attack during their childhood. What if all of these characters have greater aptitude with kaiju cells because they were exposed to high levels of fault energy during these kaiju attacks? And to take it one step further, I think that kaiju could be directly responsible for why this new generation of soldiers is so strong compared to the last generation of soldiers. Early in the story, we learn from Hoshina that kaiju are increasing in strength and size every single year, as well as in their frequency of attacks, right? Well, if kaiju are getting bigger and stronger every single year, then it would mean that these kaiju that are coming and attacking are also exposing people to more fault energy. There's more fault energy leaking off of their bodies if they're naturally bigger and stronger, right? Which also means that when they attack, they are directly exposing all of this civilization and all these places that they attack to higher levels of fault energy over time than they were ever exposed to in the past. So with people being exposed to higher levels of fault energy over time, it's naturally led to people getting stronger and having more aptitude with kaiju cells, right? So as kaiju are evolving and getting stronger over time and getting bigger over time, well, they're also naturally creating humans that have higher aptitude to use kaiju cells. It's almost like we are becoming a kaiju era because people already have kaiju cells inside of them, right? Or at least have the ability to use these cells, utilize them. And that's why our rookies this season, or our rookies in this year, right, are the strongest rookies that the Defense Force has ever seen, because this batch of rookies has been exposed to more fault energy than probably any generation of soldiers that the Defense Force has seen in the past. So what do you think? What do you think about fault energy? What do you think about what I'm saying? Am I just going down some big rabbit hole again because of this freaking Kaiju number 8 B-side chapter? Or does this kind of have some plausibility, right? Does it sound like it makes a little bit of sense? Regardless, if you watch this video, then as always, arigato. And you already know me. I will be back next week whenever we have our next Kaiju number 8 main series chapter. I wasn't even planning on dropping this, bro, but B-side just had me thinking. So I just wanted to drop this quick video. Again, let me know down below in the comments what you think about fault energy and what you think about my thoughts. And until I see y'all next Thursday, peace.